in Coach Bill Clark from UAB. We'll get right to the Alabama One hotline and bring Coach Clark in. Dad, you can bring Coach into the show.
Okay. Certainly Bill's done a terrific job at UAB. He's a terrific coach, and they've really moved up all around. And his dad, Reagan, and I worked together. Reagan was sort of the boss. I was assistant coach, and I listened to what he had to say, and he used to tell me what to do. So I guess Bill got some of that himself. But we appreciate him being on. Good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
We're doing fine. I guess, of course, the thought of are your position coaches, are they Zooming? How are you working, trying to get as much done with your team away from them?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all become Zoom experts, or whatever the video conference links you can come up with, whether it's us with each other, us with our players, us with recruits. I think there's some things that we found a way to not miss a beat, so to speak. For example, recruiting. And then there's other things that have been challenging, and we've had to really count on the discipline and the things that we try to instill in our players in every step of our program along the way, to hope that's meant something to them as they've trained on their own.
Well, I made a statement, and I may be dead wrong. I don't know much about it, but Tennessee has done a really good job of course, they got numbers, but of really pushing really hard the recruiting part of it, of kids that they thought they could get or they wanted. The recruiting part, I know you can't get out and see them and so forth, but it is important to really keep your school and your name in front of them, isn't it?
Yeah, I think to that point, it's just it's like work. I mean, it's work. It's what time do you put in it? That's what you're going to get out of it. And
sure,
everybody's got different things that are strengths, I guess, and weaknesses. But I think we've done a really good job of that. And I think one of the things we're trying to lean on now is our relationships with high school coaches. And we're just at such a different time. We're finally. We've been back long enough. We've got the new stadium on the way. We've got all these things that are kind of finally coming to fruition. So I think, we're going to take another step just in our recruiting at UAB right now.
Sure.
We're talking with Coach Bill Clark with UAB Blazers. Coach, do you guys do you bounce off ideas from other head coaches, other assistant coaches, other programs? Hey, how are you guys handling this? To maybe find out ideas from one another during these unprecedented times?
I think our assistants do. I probably don't do as much of that as I probably used to, maybe in high school. But I tell you, I am very keen on what everybody's doing on social media. So, there's so many guys that I knew back from, way back then that I still follow, and they still follow me. So I think we're always looking at, what this coach said. I'm just a student of the game, a history student. So I do love to see what other people are doing. Maybe we don't talk to them directly, maybe we do, but we're all definitely aware of what each other's doing. And as you know, this is such a highly, highly competitive field. It's just constantly trying to do it just a little bit better than those other guys.
Do you have a guy on your staff that looks at the transfer portal every hour, every day, every 15 minutes to kind of know, that's kind of where a lot of schools do their recruiting now in basketball and football. Do you have somebody that monitors that on a continual basis?
We do. We have guys that look at all, everything there is to look at. I mean, we're looking at every high school kid, the portal. We've probably not been as transfer. There's some people that just live on the transfer. Then there's kind of us who's been more junior college and high school oriented. And if there's a guy that is, he knows he's leaving and he reaches out to us, or his coach, or high school coach reaches out to us and says, hey, he's leaving. He doesn't know where he's going, but obviously we're going to entertain any of that are fits. And I'm just such a big, and everybody always asks, how did y'all get all these junior college players and keep them together? And Coach, as you know, it's all about finding the right ones. And I think that's the same thing with the transfer. Why is this guy leaving where he's at? Is it he doesn't want to work, or is it just the guy in front of him was great and he never saw, he didn't see playing time coming. So it's just, to me, it's all about really understanding who each one of these transfers are.
Sure.
Well, I tell you what, you're so right about that. I can see, and I might call because he played at Alabama when I was a football player, but at Mississippi State where they got junior college guys and they laid down on him, and they wouldn't play. And to
Right.
be able to know who to get and the right people who you feel like you can motivate and coach is what you said there may have gone in one ear and out the other, but that's a big time stuff right there, no doubt about it.
I think to that point, I don't mean to interrupt you. I think it's so much about that, and then having the right culture when they get there. And I know that was just thinking back to your teams at Alabama, just how hard they played and the cohesion, and I think that's what we're all looking for is, will they come in and be disciplined? Do they come in and put kind of team before me and all those things? And a lot of that, though, goes to having the right culture when they get there also. But
Sure.
you got to find the right guys.
Well, it would certainly be amiss if we didn't talk about your schedules upcoming and also your new facility so that the people that will buy season tickets to come to your games, it's important that one of these days they'll be coming back. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you when they're going to come or anything about anything, but tell our listeners about your scheduling, how hard you've worked to make it a good schedule, and your nice new facility.
Yeah, so we open up with New Mexico State on a Thursday night and kind of kick the season off with a few other teams that open up on a Thursday like we did last year. There'll be 7 p.m. kick, and then we'll have Alabama A&M the next Saturday. And, of course, they're always going to bring a great crowd. Then Game 3, we go to Miami on a Thursday night. It's going to be on national TV, the
Great.
ESPN game across the country. So I think they got their whole team back, and every time I look up, they're getting a new transfer in.
That's the truth.
I know people don't think they were very good last year, but they got that whole team back and a new coordinator. And so then we go down to South Alabama. They opening up a new stadium, and they've made no bones about it. They've already said they've circled that game. So we got 4 good non-conference games, and then here we go into conference play after that. In our conferences, 3 of the last 5 years, Conference USA's had the best record in the bowls, head-to-head competition. So, we've just got a really good conference from, really all over. But, especially just speaking to football, from a football playing standpoint.
Well, you've been fortunate enough to get to a bowl, and it's been big for you as far as recruiting is concerned.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's the things that they all look forward to, and we've gone to good bowls, and we need to get another one this year and get us a win. So, but they've been in the championship game 2 years in a row. Obviously every year, and shoot us every day. For me, you're worried about each day and what it brings, but to get in a championship game for the second year in a row was really a blessing last year, because last year was a year where we lost. We had to bring in the junior college guys, and then it was, okay, we're going to lose them all. What do we do? And, we were looking out there last year in that bowl game, and we had every player on offense and defense coming back this year. So at that time, it was really a good feeling to know that those guys are coming back, and, hopefully we'll have all of them back this summer when we do start back.
About the facility-wise, how are you standing with that?
Yeah, so obviously this is our second year into our new facility with our pavilion, and it's really just been a godsend. And as I always say, our people made that happen. That was money raised from our community and our fans, and it just is every day. It's a blessing to get to go in that. We've got some more work to do on where the old building was. We finally got it knocked down, and if you've been on UAB's campus, you won't. If you hadn't been on it in a while, you won't even recognize all the great things that are happening on our campus. And then, of course, the big deal going on is construction on our stadium.
Sure.
We'll be in it next year. And as we've all said, Legion Field's been great, and we want to finish up strong this year, and then next year to be in this 45,000-plus stadium right off the interstate. And you'll see home of the Blazers, all the amenities. It's going to be nice as any in the country. And, Birmingham deserves that, and it's just going to be good for so many events, not just us, but obviously it's our home, so it's a big deal.
Oh, that's great. It is a big deal, no doubt about it. Barry?
Coach, how much you guys, I guess you're begging your guys, you're wanting them to work out, and, when I work with Coach Odom, he'd always say, when you get back, there's going to be nowhere to hide. Like, we're going to know pretty quick if you've been doing what you've been saying you've been doing. How difficult is that? And I try to tell even my son now, hey, look, you can pass some guys right now because people have a hard time working out on their own, or depending on where they are, if they have facilities. Just how difficult is that being? And then eventually, when you get those guys back, you will know pretty quick, won't you, who's been working and who hadn't.
No, there's no doubt. I think I've always said everywhere I've been, we've tried to beat people with our work ethic. And, we say everybody's working. We just want to work smarter and harder. And that's not always easy to do because I'm an old strength and speed guy from the 80s. That's what I was brought up in, and coaching track and all those different things. And, I think for us, we are really trying to rely on our discipline and the fact that, I just tell myself, look, I'm a trust but verify guy. I'm old school. As we talked about, I'm a coach's son. I've been doing this a long time. And so we're going to test them in a safe way, but they know they're coming back to a test of strength, speed, all those things. I mean, we're verifying body weight. I have my nutritionist talking to them, and it's funny you said that. We had about half of them didn't check in with the nutritionist this week. And, they've done everything else right, so there's an accountability there. So I had a senior and leadership Zoom call. My son got married last night, and before the marriage, I had a Zoom call with those guys to say, all right, I'm not real happy about this with the nutrition. So I think it's just a constant staying on those guys. And, yes, they certainly can pass other people at this time.
That's coaching. So your son got married, and then you had a Zoom call in the same night?
It was prior to. Yeah, it was a few hours before. There was a don't tell my wife.
Did you get in trouble for that? How could you pull that off?
She knows what I do for a living, and it's all part of it. My son played for me, and then he GA'd for me last year, so it's kind of the family business.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That I don't think any football coach did that yesterday.
No, I don't think they did. No wonder you couldn't be on yesterday.
yeah. I had a prior engagement. We had to do the 10 or less rule, so I hated it for them. They had to postpone their wedding a few times, so we got them two married, and so it was a good day for the Clark household.
Yeah, I got a daughter that's engaged. Maybe I could tell it 10 or less that you can save a lot of money doing it that way, can't you, Coach?
Well, we I don't know. I don't know if we saved or not in the long run.
Yeah, that.
Anything that you are trying to do without giving away future schedule-wise for the new building? I know you're trying to get as many good top teams in there as you can, but that's something I'm sure you're all working on.
Yeah, we are. I think you're going to see we're going to always play a big name opponent every year, and our conference is so competitive, and then we're going to continue to play a local FCS team, and we've added Troy to the schedule. We've got Georgia State coming up, so there's some really good proximity games. So I think we've done a really good job of scheduling. Just like we said, teams that we can compete against, local teams. And then we got that big name opponent every year that our players love to play against. And obviously, all that money we bring in is good for our whole athletic department.
Sure.
What is y'all's conference saying about? I know the SEC is supposed to have a vote, I guess, with the presidents this Friday about when they can open up facilities. Where do you guys stand with that, Coach?
Well, I think, good question. I think it all comes down to what your state's doing. Obviously, I think we're all happy to see that almost 50 states have opened up in some form. Alabama's, moving well. Keep saying our prayers to continue to do the right way, and we're hopeful for. I think everybody's hopeful for at least June. Not organized workouts, but just small groups. And I think the reason that's so important is just really to onboarding these kids, and also, as we said yesterday, I'd rather them be in my facility with trainers and all the medicine that UAB has to offer than that some of these other places where we don't know who the heck they're around or going on. So it's always just like in football. It's all about safety first and the health of our guys. But I think I've said this over and over. Sports and football are so important to our country, our psyche, the economics, and we're not going to sacrifice health to do it. But I know our kids are hungry to get back, and so we just want to do it in the safest, best way possible.
Great answer to that.
Well, I appreciate you being on. I especially after going through a wedding yesterday, I had no idea I was infringing on your family.
No, we're good.
But I did want to have you on and mention not just the the virus, but also your stadium and your schedule and what a great job you've done. We appreciate so much you being on, and we'll look forward to talking to you when the season starts.
Okay. Thanks for having me on. Y'all have a good day.